Hi guys, it's me again, Jill Wright, and I'm here to do a Storytime Live with you. I've been doing Storytime Lives every Monday through Friday since we've been out of school for our social distancing, and each time we do a really fun story, a read aloud, and then we also have a good educational and entertaining activity to go along with it. So hopefully your children are getting some enrichment and some education away from the homeschooling piece that you guys are having to offer them. Hopefully you guys can get away for a little bit, have a cup of coffee, read a book for a half an hour or so, or you can have some really fun time sitting down with your children and interacting with us through this story time. I am working for SAFE, and SAFE is a local sexual assault agency. We cover 11 counties in the state of Illinois, mostly south central Illinois counties. And SAFE actually has 4 different offices. We have an office in Effingham, in Centralia, in Mount Vernon, and in Vandalia. Vandalia is our main office, and the rest of them are kind of like satellite offices. We do have educators, which is what I do, a prevention education in each of the offices. We also have counselors and we have advocates, and we are all currently not working face-to-face with anyone for the most part, unless there is an emergency. We are doing most of our services by phone right now, and then also with technology, we're able to do some things too and provide some services that way. So if you do need anything at any time, please don't hesitate to get a hold of us. We would be happy to provide the services that we can in the ways that are safe for both you and us. I am doing programs to help you guys with things for your kiddos, and I'm doing the programs that we oftentimes do in schools. When we go into schools, we go into preschool through the 12th grade, and we do programs on things to help your children stay safe. We want them to be safe everywhere they go, and we want to be a part of helping them make that choice to stay safe. We want them to know the ways that they can be safe at home. We want them to always be safe when they go to school, and we want to make sure we're helping them stay safe when they go out into the community. So some of the programs that we do are body safety. That's our main program. That's our most important program, the program we do most often. It's also a program that's currently required by law in the state of Illinois. So it's definitely the most important program for us to get out there. And we actually had one of my colleagues do a short little video clip of some body safety information. Her name is Paige Beck, and you can catch that on her page, as well as on SAFE's Facebook page currently. We also do a program on internet safety because we want to make sure that your kiddos are staying as safe as they can when they're online. Unfortunately, there's never any way to be completely safe using the internet, because no matter how good you are or how careful you are, no matter how many rules you follow, there are so many people out there on the same internet as you, and you can't control what they do. And oftentimes, there are people out there that can do things that are unsafe for us. So we can control what we do and make it safer for us to use the internet. Especially right now, our kiddos like to listen to music and watch movies. They like to play games. And they also are using the internet a lot for education currently. They're going to be using it more and more while we're doing homeschooling and home-based schooling. So when we use the internet, we want to make sure you're doing it in the safest way you can. Another one of my colleagues, Lenora Keegan, has done one of our internet safety programs geared toward parents and kids, and that's available on her Facebook page as well as on our SAFE Facebook page. And then we also have a program called Compassion Education. And our Compassion Education program is basically 2 big giant words that mean 2 little bitty ones. Be nice. And even though it sounds super easy, unfortunately, it's not always easy to be nice. So we go into your classrooms, and sometimes we read books, sometimes we watch videos, sometimes we just hang out and interact, do some fun activities to help you learn ways to be nice. We want you to be nice to yourself. We want you to be nice to others. We want you to be nice to your surroundings, like your school and your belongings and other people's belongings, like your house or your toys. We also want you to be nice to the earth and make sure that we don't clutter it up for others. So that has been the program that our stories have been based on in the last 2-ish weeks, a little more than 2 weeks. If you've missed any of them, you can always go back and check the replays. They're available on my Facebook page as well as on SAFE's Facebook page. And currently, they're also up on a YouTube channel called Stories the Right Way, WRIGHT. So you can catch them there as well. Today, our story is going to be a really fun one. Let me check and see if we've got some viewers on. We do. Good. If you guys are watching, I would be very appreciative for you to use that chat box over there on the side and just type in your name, your age, where you're from, something like that, so that I can interact with you and give you some shout outs, call out your name, and you're able to answer some questions that I might have for you as well. So hopefully we're going to get some people letting me know who's watching currently. I do have several on, but I don't know who you are. So say hello, let me know. Our story for today is called, can't read it like that. Maggie, Malin, and Maisie. Glad you're here again, guys. Oh, something else that I have to point out, in case you haven't noticed, my background is a little bit different today. Has anybody noticed anything different in my background? Because I noticed it as soon as I sat down and I turned my computer on for my Facebook Live. So as soon as you notice it, I want you to point it out and tell me what it is. What do you see in my background that's different from the rest of our Facebook Lives? It should be pretty easy for you to notice. Again, tell me if you're watching. Let me know who you are so that I can shout out to you and you can help me answer some questions. Carter, hi, Alexa, thanks for joining, guys. Our story for today is Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. And it is written by Jay Malitsky and illustrated by Aaron Wozniak. And we've covered several times what an author does, as well as what an illustrator does. So the author is the person that writes the words to our story so that we can read them today. And the illustrator is the one that draws our fantastic pictures for us to look at. Now we'll go ahead and get started with our story. Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. You got it, Heather. That's my new thing for my background today. So before I start my story, I'll explain that just a little bit. My husband decided that he was going to help me decorate my background, but he didn't let me in on that. So he snuck in and put, where's it at? Oh, there it is. Put this awesome sign up. You got it. Yep, he put that awesome sign up so that everyone that watches this live will know how awesome my husband JJ is. So good job for catching that little bit of difference in my background. Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. Over the lake and out past the bay was a green grassy hill where the rocks came to play. They would race to the top to take in the view, then roll their way down the way rocks love to do. There were Kip, Pip, and Chester, and Marvin the Boulder. Ignatius played too, though he was much older. And a group called the Pebbles never sat still, zigzagging their way up and over the hill. Kai was a meteorite and not from this planet, and Maya was lava, but taken for granite. Stu was the smart one, Parker the clown, and grumpy old Ebert rolled round with a frown. Gabby was sassy, Lisi had flair, Emma was giggly, and Hud had black hair. But the one trait that seemed to be shared by them all was that every rock there was shaped like a ball. And because they were round, they could easily roll through the grass, past the lake, up and over the knoll. Except for poor Ricky, who quietly sat. You see, Rick couldn't roll because one side was flat. His friends didn't get it. "Come roll," they would chant. So Ricky tried, but replied, "I'm sorry, I can't." But the rocks were determined. They were sure they could solve Ricky's flat-sided problem and help him revolve. So Marvin the Boulder, with his impressive physique, carried Rick all the way to the hill's grassy peak. Then he pushed him downhill, yelling, "Keep rolling, kid!" But Rick didn't roll. He just kind of slid. "This feels like a bad idea," he says. Well, the rocks weren't done, not by a mile. Surely this next try would get Rick to smile. They stuck rubber balls all over Rick, using big globs of glue to get them to stick. They were proud of themselves. This will work, they announced. But Ricky still couldn't roll. Now he just sort of bounced. Well, they pushed and they pulled, trying every which way to get Rick to roll. But by the end of the day, nothing had worked, just like Rick expected, and he ended up feeling depressed and dejected. It's no use, Ricky sighed. There just isn't a way, so I'll sit off to the side and watch you all play. But his friends wouldn't quit. We're here for you, brother, and we'll get you to roll one way or another. Hi, Joe. Thanks for joining. So they pondered and thought, each straining his brain, till they looked up and saw it's starting to rain. And that's when it hit that smart stone named Stu. Eureka! He shouted. I know just what to do. He explained to them how they would get Rick to tumble. My plan is pure genius. Stu wasn't too humble. So they carried our hero down the road about a mile to the lake where they gathered up mud they could pile. On the flat side of Rick, creating a mound that they shaped, smoothed, and sculpted until it was round. Then after the rain, with the sun in the sky, they left him to bake till the mud was all dry. They gathered up vines and one colorful feather that they wrapped all around Rick to keep it together. When the last knot was tied and the work was all done, the only step left was for Rick to have fun. They stood back and watched, feeling nervous and tense, as Rick breathed in deep with increasing suspense. He moved slowly at first, testing out his new mold, and then, for the first time, Ricky the Rock rolled. So Bria the ladybug, who'd been there from the start, felt a surge of pure joy swell up in her heart. She thought, as she watched her friends play on the hill, that there's always a way if there's also a will. And she said to herself, as Ricky rolled down the slope, when you're surrounded by love, you've always got hope. The end. So that story has a lot of really good lessons for us to learn in it. There are lessons for us to learn about never giving up and keep trying and trying and trying. And there's a lesson about our friends, right? And helping them and always being there for them. And there's a lesson at the end about hope. And as long as we have people around us that love us and care for us and show us that, there's always hope. And right now, that's kind of a struggle for a lot of us because there's a lot of crazy, crummy stuff going on in the world. There are a lot of things that are happening that are really hard on all of us. We want to go out and see our friends and do fun stuff and go down the slide and swing at the park. We want to go shopping and we want to go eat at restaurants. And so that makes us all feel kind of down and crummy. But just remember, you've got what you need right there at home. You have love. Somebody that cares about you, somebody that has food for you and shelter for you, somebody that has water for you. And those are the things that we really need. As long as we have somebody there to care for us and help us, to put their arms around us and to let us know that there's love, then there's also hope. And we'll get through this. We'll get through it together. It may take a little time. It may take a lot of time. But eventually, we're going to get through this. And then we're all going to be stronger because of it. So right now, some of us can't roll. Some of us are stuck right where we're at. But if we work together and we do what we're supposed to do, and we keep staying inside, and we wash our hands, we're going to come out rolling, all of us, down the hill, and we're going to be able to be a lot better off. So with our story today, We did have a great lesson, and now we have also an educational piece to go along with it, just like we usually do. If you haven't mentioned yet over here on the chat box who you are, please let me know. Right now, I had a couple new ones join. My mom just joined. She said that she's late. Mom, did you notice this awesome sign that JJ made for me and put up in my background that I wasn't supposed to notice, but I saw as soon as I turned on my computer screen for the live? So there were lots of people that were able to guess what was new in my background. If you haven't commented and let me know who you are, I would love to hear from you. Also, please, please, please invite your friends for our next lives. I'll see you again on Monday, but until then, let's do some educational stuff. So in our story today, there were probably some new words that some of you may never have heard. There were some big words and some confusing words, so we are going to talk a little bit about them. Here's the word list that I have ready for you. So the first word was revolve. Can anybody on here tell me, what does the word revolve mean? Anybody know? Can you guys give me a little bit of a definition of revolve? What does that mean? What did Ricky do, or what did he want to do when he wanted to revolve? Any ideas? What do you think? And while you're thinking about that one, I'll go ahead and tell you the others too, so that you can think about them as well. We have physique. Do you remember? He is awesome. You're right. He is pretty awesome, Mom. Thanks. I'll let him know that you said that. Physique is another word that you may not have heard before. And with our context clues, you might have been able to get. And then peak. What does the word peak mean? Do you have any ideas? What is a peak? I think it told us in the book that it was the peak of the hill, right? Do you remember that? And then we also have dejected. What does dejected mean? I think in our story it said he was depressed and dejected. Can you guys type that out, what you think that these words are meaning? And then we have genius. Genius is probably one you've heard before. Does anybody know what the word genius means? We'll use these in a sentence as well when we're finished. And humble. What's the word humble mean? Any ideas? Let's see. Peak is the highest point. You got it. Peak is the very, very top. And so that's where Ricky went, to the peak of the hill, to the very, very top, so that he could roll down. But unfortunately, it took him a really long time to learn to roll, didn't it? Good job. So we have peak. What's another one? Maisie, Miley, do you guys know? Can you tell me the definition on one of these words? What do they mean? Carter thinks dejected means sad. You're exactly right. He felt left out and sad. He was depressed and dejected. Good job, Carter. High five for you. Nice work. Anybody else? Alexa, Carter? What do you guys think? Malin? How about some others? Got several people hanging out with us. Any ideas on what those words mean to you from our story? I'll give you a hint on physique. Remember when I did this in our story? That's a hint on physique. What does physique mean? We got peak and dejected. Genius. Oh, you guys should know what genius means. Lots and lots of you have shown lots of genius things this past couple weeks while we're doing our stories. What is genius? Let's see if I have some answers over here. Sometimes I get them on one place, but not the other. Bodybuilder, kind of bodybuilder. Oh, hi, Paula and Leah. Glad you guys joined. Good to see you all here. Thanks. Physique doesn't necessarily mean body build. Oh, wait. You mean the build of your body, right? Yeah, so it does mean the build of your body. Your physique is how your body is made up. Some people's physique is really strong. Some people have a weaker physique. Some people are really tall. That could be their physique, or really short could be their physique. So your physique is just how your body looks or how your body is made up. Good, you got it. I was thinking when you said bodybuild, you meant like bodybuilder, like muscles and lifting weights. So now we've got a couple more. So let's see what anybody else has. Revolve. What does revolve mean? He wanted to revolve down the hill. What is that? Any ideas? So far we need revolve, genius, and humble still. Those are the words that we have left. You guys know what any of those mean? Genius means really, really smart. Yeah, the guy that figured out how to make Ricky roll in our story was a genius. He figured out something that was really hard and he knew how to do it. So that made him a genius. And humble means that even though you're really smart, you don't go around acting like it. You don't go around acting like you're the best or you're the smartest or you think you're better than anybody. So humble just means you're kind of just chill about it. And then revolve is our last one, right? So revolve in our story meant to go around in circles. It revolves around and around. And usually when we think of that, it goes in circles like this. But in our story, it meant revolving like this and rolling down the hill, right? Now, I want to talk to you about another thing in our story because our story had something really special in it today. It was a certain kind of story, and there are lots of stories that have this in common. I'm going to read a little portion of it to you again and see if you can guess what that is. So I'll read a couple of sentences right now. Over the lake and out past the bay was a green grassy hill where the rocks came to play. So if we listen to bay and play, those two words have a very similar sound, don't they? What do we call it when two words sound similar? When two words sound alike like that, what do we call that? What kind of words are they? Let's read another one too. They would race to the top to take in the view, then roll their way down the way rocks love to do. So we have view and do. What kind of words are those? When we have words that sound the same, what do we call that? What do you think? Words that are what? I know you guys all know. View and blue and Sue and two and crew and moo are all a certain kind of word. What do we call that when words sound the same? Any ideas? Words that sound the same, like hat and pat and cat and sat and rat. They're all what kind of words? We've got several folks joining us. They're rhyming words. Yeah, good job, Jeannie and Alexa. You got it. Those are words that rhyme. They sound the same. So now I want each of you to come up with two words that rhyme. So two words that sound the same. And I want one from Alexa, and I want one from Carter, and I want from Malin and Maisie, and I want one from Jeannie, and I want one from Maggie, and I want one from, let's see, if Joe's still on, I want one from Joe and Leah. So hopefully you guys all can think of at least two words that rhyme. So go ahead and tell me, what are your rhyming words? And then we'll write them down so we can have them to remember everybody's. Let's get started. What are your rhyming words? Who wants to go first? Who's going to get it? I'll scoot over so everybody can see my lovely new sign. Who do we have? Who's going to get the first rhyming words? Anybody? Carter says red and bed. Awesome, Carter. So let's put Carter's rhyming words up. We have red and we have bed. Great job, Carter. Oh, Alexa says cow and how. Nice. Good job. Who else is going to come up with some rhyming words for us today? Oh, and my mom says my name, Jill, rhymes with pill. What else? And that was actually a nickname I had for a long time when I was little, Jill the Pill. And I don't know why, because I certainly wasn't. Anybody else come up with some rhyming words? Maggie, Malin, Maisie. What do you guys think? Are you still around? I've got several joining me, so hopefully you guys can come up with some more rhyming words. And if you didn't catch the very beginning of our story, it was a rhyming story, and it was really fun, and we had a really good learning experience with it. So hopefully you'll be able to watch the replay and catch that whole story. Also, if you guys will share this video so your friends can see and join us next time. Do we have any more? Oh, somebody thought that was funny. I can't tell who it was, but somebody put up some laughing, smiling faces. What else you got? Any other rhyming words for me? What do you think? Jump in with some rhyming words for me. We still have several on. We'll wait a little bit longer for one more, and then I do want to show you something else before we head out for today. And today's Friday, so this is the weekend. That means there might be something really fun for you to do on the weekend. Do you guys all like to do something special on the weekend? If your mom or dad is still an essential worker, they may be working throughout the week, but maybe you can hang out with them a little bit more on the weekend. So that's something fun to look forward to. All right, we'll go ahead and quit with our rhyming words. If you do come up with one, please still write it down. Please still type it out for us. But I will put that up for now. And then I want to show you this one last thing. And this is something that you could do for a really fun weekend project. So our story was a lot about rocks, right? About different shaped rocks and pebbles and lots of different stones and colors. So something fun that you might be able to do is go collect some rocks outside. It's always fun to get outside and it's in the fresh air. That makes you feel a little bit better when you've been cooped up inside your house for a while. So go ahead and collect some of those rocks. And I want you guys to paint them or draw on them with markers or chalk or whatever you want to do to design some really fun rocks. And you can make rocks look like Ricky. You can put fun faces on the front of the rock and then put something on the back that maybe is going to give somebody a little bit of hope, some joy. So you could write hope or joy or love or just draw a heart or something like that that gives somebody a good feeling inside. And you can leave those rocks all over. You can leave them when you go on walks in different places for people to find and pick up. You could put them on your neighbor's porch. You could leave them all around for people to find and just to give them a little bit of hope in the world right now. I'll show you this one that I've had for a very long time. It was painted and special to me. And as you can see, I've had it so long that some of the paint is even starting to wear off. But these little rocks are fun to collect and fun for other people to find and get to. So just a fun activity for you guys to do. And if you do it, I would love to see the rocks that you make. Thanks so much for joining me today. And I will be back next week with more story time with fun activities and a great book for us to read together. Please share with your friends. Share this video so others can join us and watch. And let your friends know if they miss out, they can always catch the replay. Have a great day, guys, and an awesome weekend. Thanks so much for joining. Bye-bye, guys.